a very quick video on how to rationalise surds. Now when I say rationalise, what I mean is I do not want this number to be a surd on the bottom. Now it's actually quite easy because this, you know that this is root 4, but I'm just going to show you a method to do it. And the first method would be to recognise that this is actually 48 divided by 16, and as they're both squared you can do the square root of that. So this becomes quite straightforward. 48 divided by 16 is 3, so this becomes the square root of 3. So that looks quite easy on the surface of it, and that's definitely an easy way to do it. Another method, before we get into more complicated ones, would be to think about this as 48 can be divided by 16. So we could write 48 as root 16 root 3, and there's a root 16 on the bottom, so they could also just cancel out to give me root 3. So now if you notice I've got root 3 on the top, I've got nothing on the bottom, so the denominator is no longer a surd, it's 1. Okay, this is a typical one, and this is one that you should really learn how to do. I want to rationalise the denominator. I do not want a surd to be on the bottom of the fraction. Mathematicians do not like the surds to be on the bottom of a fraction. And the technique for this is to times a number by 1. If you times a number by 1, the number won't change. But what I'm going to choose to be 1 is root 7 divided by root 7. Now that's 1, so I'm timesing it by 1. So what actually happens is I have 1 times root 7, so on the top I have root 7, and then on the bottom I have root 7 times root 7, which gives me 7. And that is actually my answer. Now that's simpler than this because this doesn't have a surd on the bottom, and I don't like surds on the bottom. It's not just me, all mathematicians don't like surds on their denominators. Lastly, a little bit more complicated, one like this. So we're going to rationalise this, and we're going to look at this surd on the bottom. Now I could times it by root 18 over root 18, but it's much easier to just first of all think about simplifying that surd. Now that surd is 9, that's the square number, times 2. Okay, so that in there gives me 9 times 2, 18. Now root 9 is actually 3, so this cancels out with this. So I'm left with 1 on the top, 2 root 2. Now I haven't finished. The reason I haven't finished is because I've still got a denominator on the bottom. So now I'm going to times that by root 2 over root 2. So on the top we have root 2. 2 times root 2 times root 2. Well, root 2 times root 2 is 2, and I times it by the 2 to get me 4. And now I've finished. And if you look at that, we've no longer got any surd on the bottom, so this is now rationalised. So there's 3 quick ways to rationalise different surds.